Hello students, welcome to the chapter on flow of control. This is the part 5 of this particular chapter. I hope you have watched the other parts of this chapter. If not, I have given all the links in the description. You can just refer to the description box for the other parts. So today's topic of discussion will be for loop in Python. See, in the previous part, that is in the part 4, I have already discussed about the basic idea of loop and about the different types of loops, which are while loop and the for loop. But today we are going to specifically deal with for loop along with some related examples. So let's begin with the discussion of for loop. So what is for loop? As already discussed, this is the type of loop that is designed to process the items of a sequence. So in case of for loop, there will be some values within a range or some items within a sequence. Until all the items are processed, the parts within the loop will be executed. Let's go through the syntax. The syntax is as follows. So we have to write for, we have to give a variable in sequence, and then since it is a block, we have to terminate the first line with the help of a colon, and after that within the same indentation level we will write the statements which are a part of that particular for loop. Okay, it will be more clear when we go to the related examples after a few minutes. So now for understanding about the applications of for loop better, we are going to see a few examples. Let us go through these examples. So the programs that we are going to discuss are printing hello world 5 times. Hello world means any message will be printing it 5 times with the help of for loop. Then we'll be printing the squares of numbers up to 5. And then we'll be displaying sum of natural numbers up to n, and finally we are going to print the multiplication table of a number. So let's go and implement these programs one by one. I hope that you are ready with the basic concepts of iterative statements. If not, at first you have to watch part 4 and then you will come back to part 5. Okay, so let's go with our very first program. Now, so what is the use of loop? The use of loop is to simplify repeated operation. See, if you want to print some text 5 times, what you need to do? You need to write that particular text 5 times as follows. So let's say I want to print hi 5 times. So I'll just have to write, if I do not know the concept of loop, what I need to do? I need to write hi how many times? 5 times. But as you can see, this is a repetitive task. Repetitive tasks means same type of operations we are doing again and again. So what can be done in order to simplify this type of tasks? Loops are being discovered. Not discovered, actually these are being developed. Okay, so our first program for the day will be to print hello world 5 times. Let me put it as a comment. So it will be a program to print hello world 5 times using for loop. Okay, so let's follow the syntax. The syntax says that for variable in sequence, variable let's say I in sequence. For giving a sequence, we can either put it within a list or we can use the range function. About the range function, I have already discussed in part 4. If it is not very clear, you can just refer to part 4. So I'm saying it again, what the range function does, range function will take values within a particular range. Okay, so if I write for I in range, if I write 0, 5, it will take the values 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the range of this particular function is from the lower limit to upper limit minus 1. As you can see, what is the lower limit here? The lower limit is 0. What is the upper limit? Upper limit is 5. Therefore, the range will be from 0 to 4. So, what will be the values that the variable I will take? The variable I will take the values 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So, after that, since it is a block, so I'll give the colon. As I give the colon, it will leave some space from the left and it will put my cursor over there. So here what I can write, I can just write hello world. Okay, and as I run it, you will find that hello world is being displayed how many times? Hello world is being displayed 5 times. Now let us try to understand how this particular program is working. Okay, so for that I'll just take you to the whiteboard. So my code is for I in range 0 comma 5. Remember what this 0 comma 5, this 0 is the lower limit, this 5 is the upper limit, and it takes values from lower limit to upper limit minus 1. And here what I have written, here I have written print hello world. So at first we will have to find out the values within this range. What are the values within this range? The values within this range will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, because the upper limit is 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4. Now how this particular loop works? The loop works in the following manner. What is the variable here? The variable is I. I will take values one by one from this particular range. So at the first iteration or at the first time of running, I will take the value of how much? I will take the value of 0 and it will come inside the loop. Let's say this is our output screen. What is there inside the loop? Hello world. So what will come in the output screen? Hello world. After that, again, now I will break the previous link and I will take the value of 1 and it will come inside the loop. What is there inside the loop? Hello world. So hello world will be displayed again here. Now again, now I will take the value of 2 and it will come inside the loop. What is there? Hello world is there. So hello world will be displayed again. And similarly, next time 3 will be taken. So again hello world. Next time 4 will be taken. So again hello world will be displayed here. Now as this particular sequence is complete, what will happen? The program will terminate and it will show the following output, this particular highlighted output, where in your output screen. This is how a for loop works. So we are done with the first program, which is printing hello world. How many times? 5 times. Now let us go to the second program, which is printing squares of numbers up to 5. Okay, so we'll have to do to print squares of numbers up to 5. So if I do not know the concept of loop, how to print squares of numbers up to 5, I can just write like this: print 1 into 1, then again print 2 into 2, then again print 3 into 3, then again print 4 into 4, and finally print 5 into 5. So if I run it, I'm getting the squares of number up to 5. Now for that, how many lines have I consumed? I have consumed 5 lines. But this is also a repetitive type of tasks. So instead of doing it in this manner, we can take the help of for loop and do it just in 2 lines. Okay, so let us go for the for loop implementation. So we want to write a Python program. So we want to write a Python program to print squares up to 5. Okay, so let's begin. So if I want to print squares up to 5, what is the starting number? The starting number is 1. So what I'll give for I in range 1 comma, what is, I want to print squares up to 5. So I want the range from 1 to 5. So if I want the range from 1 to 5, here I have to give what? I have to give 6, because the range will be upper limit minus 1. If I give upper limit as 5, then it will take up squares only up to 4. But since I want the correct result, therefore here what I need to do, I have to give the upper limit as 6, so that it takes 1 less than the upper limit. Okay, after that we want to do the squares of the number. Now as you can see here, I will take the value from 1 to 5 one after another, and what we need to do, our task is to take that value of I and square it. So how to write it? I'll write here print I into I. After that, let me just save it and run it. As I run it, what you are getting? You are getting that the squares of number up to 5. If I want the squares of number up to 10, what I'll do here? 1 comma 11, and then run it. I am getting the squares of number up to 10 here. Okay, so let's see how this particular program is working. Okay, so for that, okay, so the code is for I in range 1 comma 6. Now what will be the possible values in this range? The possible values will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. About the range function I have discussed in details in the previous part. If you don't know about the range properly, you can go and watch my previous part. The link is given in the description. After that, what I wrote in the code, I wrote print I into I. Now as I have shown in the previous program also, at first I will take the value of 1. So let's say this is the output screen, and then it will come inside the loop. Inside the loop, what we have? Print I into I. What is the current value of I? It is 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. So in the output screen, I will be getting 1. In the next iteration, I will take the value of 2, and then what is there inside the loop? We have I into I. That means 2 into 2, that is 4. So 4 will be displayed in the output screen. Similarly, for the third iteration, 3 into 3, that is 9. For the fourth iteration, 4 into 4, that is 16. And finally, for the fifth iteration, 5 into 5, that is 25. Now, after all the iterations, or after the entire sequence of values are exhausted or completed, it will show you the required output, that is 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. If you want the squares of number from 1 to 10, then here what you will write? 1 comma 11 and so on. Okay, so in this way we can find out the squares of numbers up to how much? Up to 5. Now let us go to the third program, which is displaying sum of natural numbers up to n. Now what is the meaning of displaying sum of natural numbers up to n? Let us first try to understand that. Now if I say sum of natural numbers up to 1, it is how much? It is 1 only. If I say the sum of natural numbers up to 2, that means 1 plus 2, that means 3. If I say the sum of natural numbers up to 3, the meaning is 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. If I say the sum of natural numbers up to 4, I mean 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 plus 4, it is 10. Okay, so this work we have to do using the concept of loop. Okay, here is it a repetitive task? Yes, because after each iteration what we require the next natural number to be added. Here your main intention will be to look for a particular pattern, and based on that pattern you will go through the program. Okay, so let's begin with the program of printing the sum of natural numbers up to n. So let me just write the name of the program. Program to print sum of natural numbers up to n. N means we will ask the user up to what number does the user wants to find the sum of natural numbers. So let's put it as n equals to int input, enter the number till which you want to find the sum, and based on the input given by the user we will return the sum of the numbers. Now before finding out the sum of natural numbers up to n, what is the sum? The sum is 0. So what I will do, I have taken a variable s and I have initialized it to 0. After that, let us go through the iteration. Now, for I in range 1, because I want to find the sum of natural numbers from 1 comma n plus 1. Why have I given n plus 1? Because whatever number we give here, it will take 1 less. If I want to take up to n, sum up to n, here I have to give one more. Only then you will get the correct result. Therefore, I have given here what? N plus 1. After that, what I will do? S. S is the sum. S is the place where the final sum will be there. Then I have given here S equals to S plus I. What it will do? It will carry over the previous sum and it will get added to the new sum again and again. Now, how it will work? I'll explain you properly in the whiteboard after a few minutes. After that, finally, once this iteration is complete, the final sum will be stored in this particular variable called S. So, what we need to do? We need to display S. So, how to display? Sum of natural numbers up to, comma, n, and is how much? It is S. So let's save it and let's run it. Enter the number till which you want to find the sum. If I just say, let's say I'll give here 3. So sum of natural number up to 3 is 6. Verify it. 1 plus 2 plus 3. How much it is? It is how much? It is your 6. Okay, got it? Now let's run it again and check for a different number. Let's say I'll give 5 here. Sum of natural numbers up to 5, it is 15. So if you add 5 plus 4, it is how much? It is 9. 9 plus 3, it is how much? 12. 12 plus 2 is how much? 14. 14 plus 1 is 15. That means our program is working as expected. Now let us see how this program is being done. Let us try to make you understand about this program. Okay, so this is our program. So at first the program will ask you n equals to int input, enter the number till which you want to find the sum. Let's say I give the value of n as 4. Let's say I type 4. Then what will happen? N will take the value of 4. Now what we have initially before this program has running? Initially the value of sum is 0. Therefore I have initialized as to 0. Then what I have for I in range 1 comma n plus 1. What is the value of n we have given? We have given 4 here. It is dynamic. You can give any value in each run. So what we can do? What is the range here? The range is 1 comma n plus 1 means 4 plus 1, that is 5. That means what will be the possible values in the set? The possible values will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now while running the program, at first I will take the value of 1 and it will get inside the loop. Inside the loop what we have? S equals to S plus I. That means S equals to S plus I. What is S? S is initially 0. 0 plus I, what is I? I is 1. So S what we have? 1. So as I have got a new value of S, the previous value of S will be erased. Then again this particular loop will run, but this time the value of I will be 2. It will take 2 and it will come inside the loop. Inside the loop what we have? I have S equals to S plus I. What is S now? S is 1. 1 plus what is I? I is 2. So what I'll get? I'll get the result as 3. As I get 3, the previous value of S, that is 1, will be erased here. After that, I will take the value of 3 now, and again it will come inside the loop. What we have? S equals to S plus I. What is S? S is 3. 3 plus I is how much? 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the previous value of S will be erased, and what is the new value of S? The new value of S is 6. Next, the value of I will be 4. It will take 4 and it will come inside the loop. Here what we have? S equals to S plus I. What is S? S is 6. 6 plus I is how much? I is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. So the previous value of S will be erased and it will be replaced with the new value of S, which is how much? Which is 10 in this case. Now as you can see, all the values or items within the range has been exhausted. Now what will be done? It will terminate the loop and it will come to the line following the loop. Now here only this line is in this particular indentation level. So only this line will be a part of the for loop. Now it will break this one. It will break the indentation, it will break the loop, and it will come to the sixth line. In the sixth line, what is given there? Sum of natural numbers up to. So it will come in the output screen, sum of natural numbers up to n. What is the value of n you gave? You gave the value of n as 4. So sum of natural numbers up to 4 is, after that a colon will be there, is s. What is s? S is your, what is the current value of s? The current value of s is 10. So 10 will be displayed. So in this way, we can find out the sum of natural numbers up to n. Let us just verify this program. If I run this program, it is asking me enter the number till which you want to find the sum. Let's say I'll give as 4. Then I'll get the answer as sum of natural numbers up to 4 is how much? Up to 4 is 10. I've explained it in a whiteboard also. I hope it is very much clear now. Let's go to the last application of today's discussion, which is printing multiplication table of any number. See, this question is also important from examination point of view also, because it is often asked in your examination. So in this program, what we will do, we will ask the user, we will make the program such that it will ask the user for the number for which the multiplication table is to be printed. Let's say the user gives 5, then the entire multiplication table of 5 will be displayed here. Okay, so let's do it. So at first, let us try to find out the pattern in multiplication table. So let's go and find out the pattern now, and after that we will go. So let's say I want to print the multiplication table of 5. Let's see how it is written. 5 into 1 is 5, 5 into 2 is 10, 5 into 3 is 15, 5 into 4 is 20, and so on. Now as you observe it, you will find that the first column, that is 5, it is constant or it is fixed. Okay, so if I take it as n is fixed. Into is to fixed only, this is also fixed. After that, what you are finding, you are finding that these numbers are increasing by how much? They are increasing by 1 each time. And here what we need to do, we need to multiply n, which is 5 in this case, into these numbers 1 by 1. Here you need to, and based on this pattern only, we are going to frame our program. Okay, so let's go and do the programming part of this particular program. So what we will do, we are going to find out the multiplication, we are going to print out the multiplication table. For that, at first we will ask the user for the number for which the user wants to print the multiplication table. So let's take it as n equals to int input, enter the number for which you want the multiplication table. So this line, what it will do, it will ask the user for the number for which the user wants the multiplication table. After that, what we will do, we will take the help of the for loop. For I in range, this I is just a variable. You can take any variable for that matter. There is no restriction here. Now, in multiplication table, normally we take the values from 1 to 10. Therefore, here what I have to do in range I have to give 1, 11. Why? Because it is always one more. After that, what we will do, we will print here, print. As you look at the board, here you will see that the first column, it is common. What is it? It is n. So here what I will write, n, comma. After that, next thing, what is common here? This particular symbol, that is the cross symbol, it is common because it will come everywhere. N, cross. Next, I want the numbers 1 by 1. This particular thing, the third column, it is different. How it is different? Every time we want the numbers incremented by 1. And it will happen how? It will happen with the help of the variable I, because I will take the number serially from 1 to 10. Therefore, what I'll have to give here, I'll get to give here I, comma, then what I have as common, I have equal to symbol as common. As you can see here, this equal to symbol is also common everywhere. After that, what I require the result. How will I get the result? If I multiply n into I, I'll get the result. Now let me save this particular program and run it. It is asking me enter the number for which you want the multiplication table. Let's say I'll give the number as 5. It is giving me the multiplication table as of 5. Next time, let's say I'll give the number as 12. Enter the number for which you want the multiplication table. So it is giving me the multiplication table of 12. In this manner, you can display the multiplication table of any number. Now let us try to understand the logic behind this particular Python program. Okay, so let us try to understand here. So at first, what I have done, I have taken from the user the number for which the user wants to print the multiplication table. Let's say I'll take the number as 5. So the value of n will be 5. After that, the logic that I have put here is that for I in range 1, 11. Why 1, 11? Because we want the multiples till 10. Therefore, I have to give the upper limit as 11. So what will be the values within this range? 1, 2, 3, 4 dot 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 up to how much? Up to 10, because the upper limit is 11. So 11 minus 1 is 10. So the highest value of this particular range will be 10. After that, what I wrote print n cross I equals to n multiplied by I here. Now let us try to run this particular program. At first, I will take the value of 1. So let's take this as the output screen. So what will come in the output screen? N. What is n? N is 5. Then what I have cross I. What is the first value of I being taken here? It is 1. Then what I have the equal to symbol, equal to n into I. What is n? N is 5. 5 into I is what? 1. It is how much? It is 5. So 5 will be displayed as the result. Next, the value of I that will be taken is 2. So what will be displayed? I have used the print statement, therefore it will be directly displayed. N. What is n? N is your 5 here. 5 cross I. What is I now? I is 2, equal to symbol n cross I. What is n? N is fixed, that is 5 into I is how much? I is 2 now. 2 equals to 10. Similarly, next time I will have the value of 3 and it will come inside the loop. What I have there? I have print n. What is n? N is 5. So 5. Then I have cross. So cross will be displayed I. What is I now? I is 3 now. Equals to, then I have equals to n into I. What is n? N is 5 into what is I? I is 3 now. 5 3s are how much? 15. So 15 will be displayed here. And so on. In the same manner, the multiplication table will be displayed up to the multiples of 10. Okay. So these were some of the applications of for loop. We have discussed about printing a message 5 times, printing the squares of numbers up to 5, displaying sum of natural numbers up to n, and printing the multiplication table of any number. I hope with this the for loop is clear. Thank you very much. I'll see you again in the next session.